Hi everyone, Malibu Sean Bateman here again, and welcome to episode 2 of Talking Wrestlecrap, which this is not associated with the website, wrestlecrap.com, which you can check out all the bad stuff in Wrestling Past, and their yearly Gooker Award, which is coming up soon. So today, in episode 2, I'm going to talk about bad wrestling movies. Yeah, there's so many bad TV movies out there, and also some episodes of TV shows that had a wrestling episode, but one TV series was a wrestling TV series, well, actually it was a sitcom, and I forgot the name of that TV series, but some episodes, wrestling episodes, you might see was involving either, like, an episode of The Simpsons, which they found out that Grandpa was an old school wrestler, and an episode of the 90s hit sitcom called Funny Show had them going to a wrestling event involving The Rock playing his father, Soulman Rocky Johnson, and another episode of TV show you might seen like a pro wrestler going into a TV show as himself or herself or another character, but Stone Cold, like in an episode of Gilbert, you've seen Stone Cold Steve Austin play a fictional version of himself, but as a judge, and Bret Hart made an episode appearance on The Simpsons as himself trying to buy Mr. Burns' mansion. And also, there's so many bad movies out there that has pro wrestlers in it, or had the story around the wrestling business. Like there's the 1970s version of called The Wrestler, which sucked balls, which you have to stay away from. It has been surrounding the NWA and AWA back in the day, which is the National Wrestling Alliance and the American Wrestling Association. And also there was a 1980s film starring the late Roddy Piper and Dirk Benedict from the A-Team called Body Slam, I think, but it also had the Tonga Kid in it, and cameos of WWE Hall of Famers Classy Perry Blassie, Nature Boy Ric Flair, and the Italian Superman Bruno Sammartino, side by side, and another, well, wrestling film. It's involving the world of women's wrestling called All the Marbles, starring Burt Young from the Rocky franchise and Peter Falk from Columbo. And that movie, it shows the lighter side of women's wrestling, showing how they do stuff as well. And since about 1989-ish, the WWE has doing films to get people into theaters, and there was there was No Holds Barred, Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny of Hulk Hogan. Then X many years later, they had their first film under their WWE Films banner with King called See No Evil, and some of the movies that they had underneath that their banner went to theaters, and some of the sequels are straight to video releases. And one wrestler who has been in films, he's called himself the A-lister. That's right, Mike Mazzana, or The Miz, he's been calling himself an A-lister after having these straight to video releases. Technically, memory serves me right, to be called an A-lister, you have to be in blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster, and winning Oscars and Golden Globes. And memory serves me right, The Miz has no Oscars or Golden Globes. And I'm going to bring up one bad TV movie based on a pro wrestler's career that later he became a governor of his own home state, which is pretty nice seeing, and showing the story from when he joined up with the U.S. military, then he went into pro wrestling, and retired from pro wrestling, becoming a commentator, then into acting, and into becoming his mayor of his hometown, then into becoming the governor of his home state of Minnesota. It's called the Jesse Ventura Story, and well, in that movie, some of the moments in that movie were factually incorrect, like having 90s wrestlers Raven, the late Chris Kanyon, and Bill Goldberg magically appearing in 1970s wrestling as BS, and Gorilla Monsoon, God rest his soul, and Jesse Ventura working on WCW Nitro back in the 80s, which WCW did not have Nitro until about the mid-90s. And if you watch closely in the audience, some of the wrestling fans were wearing NWO shirts, which the NWO started about July 1996. And in one moment in that incident, in that franchise, in that TV movie, one of Jesse Ventura's behind the scenes friends, and the character got screwed out of a match win against Raven, similar to the Montreal Screwjob, which happened a few days ago. It's been about 18 years since that incident, the Montreal Screwjob, and to me, to make that film a lot better, they should follow Jesse Ventura's career as from factually correct instead of making those small tweaks. Granted, they had Chris Kanyon work as the stunt coordinator, which is nice, mind you, and all that movie was doing was showing I respect the concept, showing the story of Jesse Ventura so people can know who he is before learning to see other pro wrestlers go into from before they retired from the business. And heck, we've never seen a biopic of Dwayne Johnson yet, which technically I like to see myself, but I don't want it to be just that, like that POS Jesse Ventura film. So this is Malibu Sean Bateman signing off.